Hi, I'm Casey Holdo, joined by Lamar Hurd. Today we're going to talk a little about Anfernee Simons, with the Trailblazers drafted with the 24th pick in the 2018 draft.
Who was named after my favorite player growing up, Penny Hardaway.
I'm already learning something here.
Penny Hardaway, yeah, that was my favorite player growing up. First NBA autograph I got was from Penny, and I got a feeling this kid, Anfernee Simons, is going to be given a lot of autographs, Case, because he is one of those guys where you don't judge the book by its cover. It's a slight frame, looks a little young, but he plays a grown man's game. Doesn't back down from anybody. I see that you like that play, so we might as well rewind that play really quick, look at it again, because you got Wade Baldwin at the bottom of the screen setting the screen for Anfernee. He can read it. He can flare to the corner and get a wide open three, but he notices that the basket is open. You can throw it up high to him. He can go get it.
Some nice bounce, too, for Anfernee, a guy who I think the Blazers could use some athleticism.
Yeah.
I think they need some guys that get out of the court, kind of play a little above the rim, and I think that's kind of one of the ideas for Anfernee, is the guy who has that capability.
He'll surprise you, he'll dunk on you, and this won't come as a surprise, his shooting, because he can fill it up. And the thing I really like about him, outside of the things we've already discussed, as you see the hops again, is he's a tough cover one-on-one.
Yeah.
Really similar to the idea you get when CJ has a one-on-one and will shake you left and right until you lose your balance. But he's also one of those guys that can play north and south, too. And so all of the things that we saw him do in Summer League, that's just instinct. That's just going out there and playing. So imagine when he gets with his Blazer coaching staff, with the veterans on the team, and he's able to just pick up on all the nuances of the game, his play is only going to go up and up. And I think sooner rather than later.
I think so, too. And I think going into Summer League, there was I think people assumed, and I would include myself in this, that, perhaps maybe he was a year or two away from even really kind of seeing the court consistently. And maybe that is how it shakes out. But when I was watching Summer League this year, there was never a time where I felt like Anfernee he didn't belong out there.
Yeah.
Like he's a guy coming straight out of high school who's got a bit of a slight frame, but it didn't ever seem like he got pushed around. Yeah. It seemed like, again, he was able to hold his own, I think a lot better than people assumed he would, and I think that's kind of, for people, myself included, it's maybe kind of moved up what we think he might be able to do his rookie season, because I think he's going to see the court.
Well, we saw that with Zach Collins last year. A lot of people did not expect Zach to make the impact right away that he was able to make, and it's really funny with Anfernee and Gary Trent Jr., only a few months really separate those guys.
Yeah, you're right.
But in playing years, in terms of experience, with Gary Trent able to go play in the ACC and play at a national power like Duke and get that teaching from Coach K, that's not something Anfernee has been able to get. So that's why there is a bit of a gap in terms of the experience, but age very similar, and skill level and just readiness to come out and play also similar there too.
Also, just his mentality as well. Like he doesn't get out there and try to show you that he got picked 24th in the draft, even though I didn't play in college. Like he's quiet, he was contrite, and he basically just went out there and played. And I think that for a young player who's going to go through some trials and tribulations, like having that kind of that basis of knowing who you are and being comfortable with who you are at this point in your career, I think is incredibly important for a young player.
It's a great point, and I don't know that he can find a better backcourt to be playing with and to learn from than the one he's going to have.
Nice little post game to put a smaller guy on him, but just having the